So,
welcome everyone to this episode of the S.O.A.P. I'm Daniel, and this week we have everyone back. We have Andrew, Arthur, Mike, and Aaron. This episode we thought we'd do a special episode for Mario with the new Mario Kart coming out. Anyone been looking at the new Mario Kart coming out?
So I've had a quick look. Not really anything special. I think it's a reskin of the Wii U game, but it's for the Switch, and content for the Switch is always a good thing, right?
definitely, I agree with that.
You're getting a Switch, aren't you, Arthur?
Yeah, I don't actually have it yet, so I will eventually, and I'll probably get Mario Kart, I'm sure.
Did you play the old ones? Did you play it on like the old Wii U or?
Yeah. Look, I'm actually Mario's one of the few console games I ended up playing just because it was so ubiquitous that it was easy enough to emulate. Also, there's have you guys ever seen Wacky Races? It was like a cheap rip-off of Mario Kart.
I've seen it, but I've never played it.
It was great. It was on the PC.
Now, I've seen Little Big Planet Racing, which was a similar vein for the PlayStation 3, I think it was. After the success of Little Big Planet, they did a racing game, and it's very similar to Mario Kart in a lot of ways. But with obviously the Little Big Planet characters, we've got a copy of that, and me and my son played that and quite enjoyed it.
Is this Super Mario Odyssey? Is that the title?
Yeah, this is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I believe.
Okie doke.
It's essentially a reskin of the Wii U version. It's not actually new.
Yeah, they've gone the cheap route. Pretty much they're just grabbing the Wii U copy of Mario Kart, putting it on the Switch so there is a copy of Mario Kart on the Switch that everyone can play.
Yeah. Upscale graphics.
So why should people be getting it? Because it's on the Switch?
Correct.
Because it's Mario Kart.
And everyone loves Mario Kart.
Everybody
Absolutely.
loves Mario Kart. Oh yeah, brilliant.
Well, it's one of the big staples of not just Nintendo, but I guess racing games as well. And so having a copy of it on each platform is quite an important thing, especially with Nintendo that are very focused on their own big name kind of properties.
Yep.
The Switch is very notorious at the moment for not having games. You've got Zelda, and that's kind of where people stop talking about the Switch. Even though there are other smaller games, pretty much Zelda and nothing else at the moment, where with Mario Kart being ported across, even though it's not really a new and original game, it's one of those important games that they have.
Yeah.
And now you're going to have two games to talk about on the Switch.
You probably find that the newer Switches will become bundled with it as well. So you'll get your Switch with Mario Kart bundle, and you might even have a couple of extra Joy-Cons, so you can do the old 4-player, which is another one of the staples. One of the first games, I think, to do that 4-player mechanic on the Super Nintendo, so before even GoldenEye on the 64. So you could do, if you had a Super Multi-Tap on the Super NES, I believe you could play 4-player Mario Kart way back in the day.
Well, maybe in the spirit of things, obviously with Mario coming out, there's been so many Mario different games and properties. Maybe we can do a little bit of trivia for everyone and just see how well we actually know Mario.
All right, let's hit her up.
Sounds awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
This is a very loose trivia. All the information has been taken from the internet. If any of it's wrong, blame the internet, don't blame me. The way this is going to work is just answer the questions. Some will be true or false questions. Others will just be free answers. First in, best dressed. So, I guess I'll start with a nice, easy true or false. So, Mario, the amount of games that Mario has appeared in, is it greater than 200? True or false?
True.
False.
I think it's true. Mario is in everything, and in Japan especially, Mario was like
Good call.
everywhere.
It's not
Good
just
call.
the Mario games. Think of like Mario Doctor and Mario Tetris and Mario like Kart and Mario every freaking variation of that shit.
Oh,
There's
Mario Tennis on the Virtual Boy.
Okay, you got me. Yeah, I can
I think
understand.
Arthur's spot on with that one. Mario's been in everything. There's very little that Mario hasn't had his hands on at all. He has been in over 200 video games. I was actually trying to find out exactly how many, and the list was just so long I wasn't going to count it up, and there's just no specific answer. Probably because a new Mario game or something with Mario referenced in it comes out so constantly that nobody can really write an article and be up to date.
I would guess it's probably closer to like 1,000 as opposed to 200.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
found references to 200 plus and then 250 plus, but I couldn't get a solid answer on it. All right, well, speaking of all those games and all that, another nice, easy true or false one. The Mario franchise, is it the best-selling video game franchise of all time?
Ooh.
True or false?
I'm going to say false, just because there's some other franchises that probably sell more than Mario.
What do you reckon
Unfortunately,
sells more?
I would say Call of Duty, unfortunately, would sell more than Mario.
Yeah, I'd say false. I don't think it's the highest selling.
Yeah, I think it's false too.
I'm going to
Can't be
go
right.
true.
Mike?
I'm going to go against the grain. I'm going to
I love it when Mike goes against the grain because he's normally right as well. From what I could find, and once again, this is all very obscure, but Mario does appear to actually be the biggest franchise. And once again, we're talking about all the different video games that he's had, been in,
It means
the
they win.
merchandise. You got to think about all that merchandise, the movies, TV series, everything that he's been in. There's very few things that are more iconic than Mario across any platform. Even movies, there's no movie character that is probably as iconic as Mario is across the board. So, from what I could tell, Mario is actually the best-selling video game franchise of all time.
Woohoo! All right.
No, I was thinking more like Mickey Mouse and stuff as a character, but he's not into gaming as such, so that doesn't count. So Mario
I was
is...
thinking pure revenue numbers. I wouldn't have thought Mario would be the number one, but there you go.
With Mickey, I think he's in a decline, like where 20 years ago, Mickey still probably would have been at the pinnacle.
Yep.
These days, like, when was the last time there was a Mickey Mouse
Anything.
big motion picture, or he's still iconic, and he's still one of the most iconic cartoon characters ever created.
All you see him
He's
now
in decline.
is or he's the Kingdom of Hearts or whatever that game is called.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Evil Mickey or something.
Epic
What was
Mickey.
that? But that went pretty badly, didn't it? It tanked in the ratings.
It was
if
meant
I
to
remember
be
correctly.
awesome. Yeah, it didn't do overly well. It was a Wii game. Yeah, it didn't do as well as everyone thought it was going to.
Mario
But they-
curb stomped him.
Pretty much. They did make a sequel. I don't think that did very well either. But it's Disney. They had enough money to pump it out, not worry about it.
Disney don't care. Sitting pretty.
Anyway, back to the question.
Yes,
He's
mother.
reveling in his victory.
I know.
Yeah, it's just like, move on, I've won.
That's right.
Yeah. Fuck you, Mike. So we've talked about the different kind of things that Mario's been in. One of those is educational games. Who can name an educational game that Mario's been in?
Oh.
Would you say the Wii Sport?
Don't know that that's educational.
You gotta
Teaches-
It
gotta
might be
hit-
your
hit the
education, but
ball. Education.
I assume it's not Dr. Mario, because that really wasn't educational.
no, that was where he was like throwing vitamins, I think, to
Yeah.
destroy viruses.
It's pretty much the same as modern medicine. You just throw pills and stuff till it goes away, or you get a horrible painkiller addiction. But no. I can name two if no one else can.
I can probably name one, but go for it.
No, you go
No,
first.
go, Cav.
No, after you.
Cav's bullshitting.
Do it now.
No. I think no. After you. I'm going to make it up.
No,
as I go
Cav.
along.
I want to hear Cav's magical answer before he claims whatever Aaron says is his answer.
I have
See?
I think there was a typing thingamajig back in the day.
Yes,
It was
yes.
like I'm trying to
Yes.
remember. I'm not sure whether he taught you typing or he guided you through typing. Something about typing, though.
Yes.
I can't remember the name. That's why I was trying to bide some time so I can make it up or look it up.
I
But
mean,
What
I'll give
would
you a
you
hint,
call-
It's probably called Mario Typer.
It's pretty close.
Close.
Come on, Cav.
What would you call?
well, that's the thing. I'm not sure whether he was helping you type or what, but I think it's
He's
Something
teaching you. He's definitely
oh,
teaching you.
teaching you.
and
Oh, well,
it's-
I said I'd say it's Mario teaches typing. I don't know.
Yay!
That is spot on. Well done. Aaron, what else you got for us?
The other one was... now I've gone blank. It was... Oh,
There is a
Mario
time mentioned
is
one.
missing.
Yes, that's one of them.
Yeah, and you had to go through time and get, like, important artifacts like Bill and Ted to find Mario.
There's a second game which involves time.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Time machine?
Sure is.
Sounds like really?
Yep.
As soon as you said time machine, I'm thinking, well, it involves time. I think it's got to be time machine, surely. Is it really called time machine?
Yeah, so the three that are brought up, at least when I was going through all the details, was Mario is missing,
Yeah.
Mario's time machine, and Mario teaches typing.
How is Mario's missing in Mario's time machine? What makes them educational? Is it just because they vaguely mention historical stuff?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, Mario.
I think-
Mario is missing. Yeah, you had to find historical artifacts and then match them with the time period and stuff. So it taught. Obviously, I never played it because I wasn't teached. It taught.
It taught me how
history.
to speak English.
Yes. yes. But
Yeah, that's probably what I use to speak English.
Yeah.
But obviously they spent money on production, not naming them, because none of them are snappy titles, really, are they?
No, and the only thing I remember the typing one is because I was going for a job somewhere and I was trying to remember. I was trying to find out how quickly I could type or some crap like that. And back in the day, the internet wasn't the best thing. And I remember going to the shops looking for typing apps or whatever. And I remember seeing a Mario. Obviously, Mario teaches typing is what I saw, but I couldn't remember the exact name of it. But I remember distinctly seeing it in the shops years and years ago.
Yeah, it brings to mind, it should be an epic death battle between Mario and Mavis Beacon. Does anyone remember Mavis Beacon teaches typing? No.
I've never seen that one. No.
Oh my god, it was a massive thing. It's a completely made up character, Mavis Beacon teaches typing. It was huge. Anyway, we'll move on because...
Because no one fucking cares, apparently.
I would check that out. I'm curious. I'll check it out later on.
Yeah, check it out. And African-American lady who was a model, and they just basically got her and stuck her on the front of everything for about 15 years, and she was Mavis Beacon. But she wasn't. She was just some
random.
Stock photo model, and now in the street people go, "It's Mavis Beacon." She's like, "I'm not fucking Mavis Beacon. I needed the money." Anyway.
I love it. That's brilliant. I love it. Mavis
I
Beacon.
googled it and found it is kind of strange. I do remember actually seeing covers of that.
Yeah.
Mavis Beacon. Look at it.
Teachers typing. Yeah, wouldn't that be
brilliant.
cool? Like the internet death battles they do. We should definitely have Mario versus Mavis Beacon. That'd be awesome.
Mario stomps Goombas all day. I think he'll win.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He just curb stomp her. It'd be great.
Apparently Mario curb stomps all competition.
Absolutely. He's a juggernaut.
I feel like any game, basically shove Mario in front of anything and call it a game.
Yeah, that's what they did.
Mario teaches blowjobs. I mean, it could be anything.
Well...
I don't know what you're playing there.
I think there are some videos where Mario teaches blowjobs.
It's education.
Yeah.
They may be the unlicensed copies, perhaps.
Probably it's on Pornhub or somewhere.
Yeah,
look hard
next
enough.
to Warcraft porn, which is a thing.
Eternal.
You're kidding me.
No.
Really?
Yeah, World of
I love Warcraft. I'll probably have to check this
There's
out.
tons of World of Warcraft porn. On top of the
Isn't
live
it
action
called
stuff.
Warcraft?
It's called
there's-
Warcraft, isn't it?
Warcraft.
Yeah.
Warcraft. Are you
Alright,
kidding me? I've played Warcraft for years and I've never looked into this. What's the matter with me?
Bullshit, you haven't.
No, I'm not kidding. I've never ever looked at it. 100%.
I requested you give us your history, your browser history, for us to confirm that this is in fact the case.
I'm happy to do this. Oh, well, you probably don't want to see the other stuff, but never seen the Warcraft porn ever. No kidding. No word of a lie.
That's a whole nother podcast, Gav.
Saying that, after this,
That'll be next
you know what I'll
week's
be.
special.
You know
Next week's
exactly what I'll be doing after this one.
Actually, we probably could make a whole hour of podcast out of porn parodies. But anyway, maybe back to Mario. Yeah, let's try and get it back down.
Is
to
there a
PG.
Mario porn parody? Surely there is.
Probably.
There must
It
be.
has to be. There has to be.
There's lots of plumber porn movies, so...
Yeah, that's the cliche. I come to check your pipes. Ha 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 ha.
You've got the voice of a porn star, Arthur. Alright, well, going back to voices. Since 1995, who is Mario voiced by?
Guy, I've seen that video. God, that guy.
Yes, it is a guy.
It's a
It's a
guy.
guy. Is it
He's
Bob
like an older
Hoskins?
guy. No.
From the movie?
No.
Poor Bob.
No.
He
Hopkins
passed
is
away a
dead,
few years
for
ago.
fuck's sake.
Yeah,
Oh.
he died. He died last year before. I can't remember.
You just get
No,
a
it was
star
Walden,
and
yeah.
continue, couldn't you? Or he was Mario.
Star get a
mushrooms.
star
Too
and
many
continue. Yeah, unfortunately, he passed away, which was kind of sad.
Oh, righto.
Yeah, no, I don't know who
Charles
does the
Martin.
voice.
Charles.
Charles, what? Are you reading this?
Yes and no.
He's Googling it and trying not to sound like he just Googled it. It's like, it's that
It's okay.
Charles
It's Charles
guy.
Martinet. God damn it. Okay, I've Googled it.
Charles Martinet.
So did I, but I didn't pretend I knew it.
Yeah, minus points for Mike.
And he's
Minus
famous.
half a point for Arthur.
Hey man, I admitted that I googled it, and I didn't claim
That's
it.
why it's only minus half a
I
point.
should not lose any points. I should gain a point for being so honest.
So does he do anything else? Is he famous for anything else, or is
Yeah,
he just
did
Mario?
some Skyrim stuff.
No, it does multiple voices in Mario, but Mike apparently has Google open, so Mike, tell us some more.
God damn it. I just closed it.
I'm guessing it's also Luigi and Wario.
Oh yeah.
Mike, why have you gone quiet, Mike?
Because
He
I'm just
closed the
trying to
tab on
close
the
the
browser.
thing. What's the purple guy in Mario? That's the
Wario.
The purple guy.
No, that's Waluigi.
bad,
Wario's
the bad
yellow.
one. Not the Wario, the other one.
Waluigi. It's just the evil version of Luigi.
Yeah. Okay, so the thin little spindly dude.
You are terrible at Googling, Mike.
No,
So he's voiced related characters such as Baby Mario, Luigi, Baby Luigi, Wario, Waluigi, and Toadsworth.
Toadsworth.
And that purple guy.
Yeah, that purple guy.
That purple guy. I love it.
Well, Wario and Waluigi don't say much. They just go, wah! In all the games I remember, they never really said anything. And it's like, it's not me, Waluigi. It's just like, wah! we played
That's enough of a
WarioWare
voice for that character.
on the Wii ages ago, me and a friend, and it was pretty much just like you were doing drugs. It was weird. It was one of those party games like Mario Party, but it was the Waluigi, the Wario version, and it was just off its head. Like, it was all just psychedelic random games, and then
The mushrooms, man.
And then
That's
Wario
the
is
theme.
So WarioWare is just a bunch of mini games.
yeah, but they were all like strange mini games.
Mash the
And I-
tomato into Margaret Thatcher's face. Like that's
Stuff like that, yeah. And I remember Wario, he was just like, wah! So, that guy phoned it in that day. What was his name?
Charles Martinet.
Charles Martinet. He was just like, yeah, well, we need you to do Wario. Ah. And they're like, yeah, that's it.
I don't feel like he has a particularly large range given his characters that he's actually played. I'm surprised he didn't do. Well, is that really all he's done?
Yes. Well, that's all I found. Maybe he does do other things.
And the
That's what
Skyrim.
they talk about.
And the Skyrim one is the COD lack. One character in Skyrim.
One character in Skyrim where they recycled the voices like
Yeah.
every fifth
Yeah.
character. Wow.
Here we go. Did work for the video game Cell Damage as the voice of Foulmouth. His primary voice work in several educational game series such as Leapfrog. He also voiced the dragon Parthenux in the 2011 video game Skyrim.
Ah, there you go.
Ah.
Orvis in 2009's Ratchet and Clank Future.
Or is
Crack in
this still
Time.
Charles Martinet?
Yep, and he also narrated the cutscenes and menus in the 2013 video game Bit.Trip presents Runner 2 Future Legend of Rhythm Alien. I have actually played some of the Bit.Trip games. They're
Well,
actually fun.
Parthenux, that's a
Basic.
fucking cool character. That was one of the
Yeah.
freaking coolest characters in the whole goddamn game. So good job there. And also he gets killed.
That's even better.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Like, there's people that are going to buy a Switch for Skyrim when they finally get it out there, and they're not going to
I
know.
haven't finished Skyrim yet, so
Well,
you-
it's
just
okay.
saying.
They can get a mod that prevents Parthenux
It's
from
such
being
a
killed.
such a weird title to port over to the Switch.
Is that
wasn't it?
why?
Skyrim.
Because he was the voice of Parthenux?
They probably got it cheap.
Shit, I
They're like,
didn't even...
I'm sure they did it just because Skyrim's one of those big name games that they just want to,
Yeah,
Get
and
out
it's
Get
it's
out
like
there, yeah.
it's low.
It's Skyrim.
But
Realistically, it
before we
doesn't.
go down spoiler path and all that kind of stuff, we might just rein it back in.
All right.
Even though Skyrim is a little bit older,
It was
for
his
some
sled.
people, like myself, haven't finished Skyrim. So, but
Bruce Willis
going
was
back
dead.
to Mario,
Yeah.
in what game was Mario first created and appeared in?
The first Donkey Kong.
Yeah. No.
Spot on, Mario.
He was just known as a plumber, I think. And they made it was like
Yeah, but that's still his first appearance. That's the point.
Mario's first appearance is in Donkey Kong,
Yeah.
but he did have a different name.
Yeah, he wasn't
What
was
called
his
Mario
name?
yet.
plumber.
No, it wasn't Plumber.
Plumber number one.
No, he wasn't a plumber in it.
What was his name?
It was like Jumping Guy or something like that.
Well, getting closer.
Red guy.
Red jumping
Mike is just
guy.
out. Cav is also now out.
No,
I-
not to be out.
No, I've got no idea.
Oh,
Was he?
man.
It wasn't Super Mario because that came later, but it was just.
He wasn't Mario at all.
Yeah,
Was he like Trevor or Steve or someone?
No.
Bob?
He was actually Jumpman.
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 Isn't that what I said?
You said
jumping.
jumping.
Yeah, like
You
jumping
said jumping
guy.
guy.
Oh,
Jumping
fucking
Guy.
close enough.
I said you were
That's
close.
pretty
I did say.
That is pretty bloody close.
So, like I said, he wasn't a plumber in the game. What was his occupation?
Jumping.
Jumping is not an occupation, Mike.
If he
Well,
was a jumping
it
guy,
is,
that's probably
sure.
what he. That's all he. That's probably all he did. Jump around. Probably a jumping guy, or I don't know. Was he a carpenter?
He was a carpenter. And he actually, when they first created him, he couldn't actually jump. Later on, he was like, if a
What?
barrel was coming at you, wouldn't
fuck.
you jump? And that's why they added jumping into the game. That's how he... Now, whilst he was Jumpman in the game, what was he originally created as? What was his original character, his original name?
Name was jumping guy, isn't it? Or jump guy?
No.
Jump man.
No, Jumpman is what he actually became in the game.
Yeah, okay.
But before that, Miyamoto created this character, had a different name.
Oh, this really
It was
rings a
also
bell,
just
but I
as
don't
basic as
remember.
Jumpman. It was based off the Hitchcock movies, how Hitchcock used to appear in, like, do a cameo and everything. That's why this character was originally created. But based off that, he created a very basic name for this character.
The player?
No, but of that
If it's
nature.
Hitchcock, it'll be like The Shadow or
The
something.
birds.
No.
It's just like the silhouette, the whole silhouette of Hitchcock. That's his whole image. Should be something
Yeah.
like that.
It was Cockman.
Yeah.
He was originally called Mr. Video, based
Mr.
on the
Video.
fact that Hitchcock used to be a cameo in his own movies. He created a character, Mr. Video, and the character's design was to be a cameo in all different games. So this character that appeared in Donkey Kong wasn't meant to be a main character like Mario became. He was meant to just appear in multiple games. He didn't think that the character would be successful at all. And so he called him Mr. Video until Donkey Kong actually came out and he became Jumpman. Here's another one. When did Donkey Kong come out?
1978.
Nah,
It
not
was
that
in the
old.
80s.
Nah.
Yep, 81.
81.
Anyone able to give us the month and day?
81, really? I was going to say 87 or something. 81?
No.
No, is this this is the first 87 that would have
Donkey
already
Kong.
been Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I had Mario Brothers and Mario Brothers in 87.
Because this is well before it was a thing.
Yeah,
called Super
no,
Mario
okay.
Brothers.
Mario, true. 81. Wow. Okay.
Original Donkey Kong. Anyone got the month and day?
November.
no
I'll
idea.
guess
12th.
April 19th.
Anyone else?
September 4.
Anyone else?
There's
That's
a
you,
lot
Anna.
of days to go through. That's going to take a while.
January 1st. January 2nd.
January.
It's July 9th.
July 9th.
July 9. That's a bit
So
random.
July 9th, 1981 is when Donkey Kong first debuted with Mario in it, obviously as Jumpman. Now, the storyline for this is the carpenter, which is Jumpman, mistreats his pet ape, who is Donkey Kong, who escapes to kidnap his girlfriend. What was his girlfriend's original name, and what was she renamed to?
Blondie.
Don't know the original
Something like
name.
that, though.
She was originally April, wasn't she?
Nope.
Nope.
July.
Joseph
It's not a month.
Josephine or something? It was
blonde or something. He said.
it was a blonde girl or
Something even more basic.
Girl?
Girl.
Similar.
girlfriend.
It was originally Lady,
Lady.
his girlfriend Lady,
Okay.
but Lady did get a real name later on. What was his girlfriend's name
You know what?
later on?
I'll take a guess and say it's Princess Peach.
Nope.
No, really? Well, how wrong I am.
Peaches.
wrong.
Peach has gone through a few different names.
Sure has.
Was it
Might get to that a
Daisy?
bit later.
It started. No,
Yeah.
that was Luigi's missus was Daisy.
Lady later became known as Pauline.
Pauline.
Pauline. Oh my goodness.
How
That's
random is that?
terrible. That is random.
Yeah, I
Now,
wouldn't have
while
got
we're
that.
sticking with names, what's Mario's last name?
Mario. According to the movie, it's Mario and Luigi Mario.
It is. That's why they're the Mario brothers.
Mario.
No, is it really?
Yeah.
Well, it's very
remember-
debatable because they go from a stance of yes, it's Mario to no, it's not Mario to yes, it is Mario back to no, it's not. So it's been a cycle of yes, no's officially and unofficially, and
Yep.
but essentially, yeah, he's pretty much Mario.
Just like Madonna, really, though, isn't he? He's like just one name. It's Madonna or Mario.
Yeah.
Well,
What-
yeah.
That's exactly right, yeah.
Mario.
When did he first get a last name? Does anyone know?
Probably the movie, funnily
The
enough.
movie, that's what
I
I'm
doubt-
thinking.
I doubt he had one before that.
No, I think it was in the first Mario Brothers game. So not the side scroller, the one where you had to bump everything from underneath, and it was kind of like Donkey Kong, but not really. It was called Mario Brothers.
Oh, the one where
It was
yeah,
actually
yeah.
the movie.
Oh, it was
Yeah,
actually the
It's
movie.
The movie?
Yep.
There's no way that he had a surname before that. That was the whole joke that the film did, because that's, I think, part of the reason why a lot of people hated it as well.
I think there's a lot of reasons why
Did it
people hate the movie, but I still like it.
It wasn't too bad.
I bought the DVD after I watched it because I did enjoy it. It may not be a perfect movie. It may not be very accurate to any of the games, but I still enjoyed the movie.
It was good
for
fun. Yeah.
what it was. I mean, the 90s and that were just such an era of terrible movies and that.
They were.
And that's what we loved. That's why Arnold Schwarzenegger was such a big star. It wasn't because he was perfect at acting. It was quite the opposite. It was his terrible lines. Give us some lines, Mike. Give us some Arnold Schwarzenegger famous lines.
Listen to me, I'm going to get my fist and push it up your spine and break it. Listen to me very carefully.
Can you do
your boots, and your underwear,
Can you do
and your
Mario?
panty
Mario! No, I was going to say, can you do Thank You, Mario, but our princess is in another castle in the style of Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Thank you, Mario, but the princess is in another castle.
Excellent. I can die happy now. That was pretty good.
I'm taking her to my freeze room. Play with her, because I'm Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze.
Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you. Okay, cool. What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age.
Dude, that's perfect. I love it.
You must have been honing that shit, because that sounds way better than it did before.
That is perfect. That's
It's
really
a talent.
good.
It's dead set of talent. It's like, I'd put that on my resume. I can sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Well, I
Go
did
for a
that
job
ages
somewhere.
ago for a radio show, and they're like, what can you do? And I first thing came out, like, I do Arnie. They're like, we've got like 100 of those, no thing. And I was like, but I can also, and then they hung up, and I was like, yeah.
Alright, so here's a more obscure trivia question for everyone. Where did the actual Mario name come from? This is one of those stories that have been told and told. How true is very open to
Debatable.
interpretation. His name was first in the brochures or that, I believe, for the game. So whilst he was called Jumpman in some of the pamphlets and that, he was referred to as Mario, namely in the Western releases. But there's a story, supposedly, as to how that name came about.
Is it because the Japanese believe that's a generic white man name?
No, nothing close to that. Any takers?
Somebody loved the Italian food?
No, nothing racial at all.
Okay.
A random name generator.
No. Aaron, you got anything?
I don't.
You've been quiet.
Not on this one. I have no idea.
So this one's actually a bit of a fun one, and whether it's true or not, I guess, is one of those historical left in the past kind of things. But according to the story, when they were localizing Donkey Kong, Nintendo of America's warehouse, their landlord was Mario Segale, and apparently they owed him a lot of rent, or that for it. So they got into this huge argument with Mario about the rent and how much they owed, and eventually, apparently the outcome of that, when they convinced him, you are going to be paid, they opted to name the character in the game Mario after that guy. So whether that was as part of the payment or something like that, but supposedly it came about as part of an argument over rent that Nintendo of America owed this guy.
That sounds way too quaint to be a real story. Like, the origin of Mario is a fucking mob boss.
It was not a mob boss, it's like just a warehouse owner.
Slumlord.
The slumlord, yes.
But every time the guy came in looking for the rent, now they'd chuck gold coins at him. Yeah.
They threw barrels, he was very good at jumping.
It's a warehouse, yeah. That is pretty cool, though. Like, you look back in your life now and go, I was the reason that guy's called Mario. I have launched 1,000 cartridges and random things.
It's me they haven't talking about because I had a warehouse and I didn't pay, so I made me Mario. Yeah, okay.
I wonder when he knocked on the door looking for the rent. Was he like, "It's me, Mario"?
I wanted my paycheck. Where's my paycheck?
Who's there? It's me, Mario. I love
You're
it.
like, your rent check is in another warehouse.
Have some mushrooms.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Alright, so obviously after being a carpenter originally, he became a plumber, and based on that decision, Miyamoto decided to set him in New York and make him Italian. Now, that was based off one specific physical attribute that he had. What was the attribute that made him become Italian?
Mustache, obviously.
The mustache.
It was the mustache. Because of his mustache, Miyamoto decided that he was Italian, and that's why he's now an Italian guy.
Ah.
Now, going back to physical attributes, Mario originally had a red cap, in the original Donkey Kong?
Yep.
Why did Mario have the red cap? What was important back then?
The color screens.
They did have color screens, yes. Wasn't in black and white.
Is it
cheaper.
limited palettes and only so many colours they could use on screen at once, wasn't it? And that's why he's only very basically blue and red.
Essentially. So, yeah, due to the graphical limitations, they didn't want to draw hairstyle, forehead, eyebrows, or like, particularly like, you know, if you're jumping up and down, having to render all the different hair or whatever. So, as a result of the graphical limitations, they put a hat on him and went, done. That makes it a lot easier.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those times where limitations create the art.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, even now, we could render every hair on his mustache, but he's still just Mario with a hat, isn't he? He's, like, so recognisable and come about because the computers of the day couldn't draw hair. Which is pretty awesome.
Hat, overalls, and good old Japanese racism.
Well, one of the things they talk about with Mario is that he's not a character that was specifically designed at one single point. Every time there's a new game and a new person working on it, he evolved bit by bit. And that's, you know, even the colours of his clothes, having the iconic little M symbol on him, all those kind of things. They're all slow progressions over the generations of different consoles and different games. Whilst he started out as the most basic form with a hat because that was the easiest way to do it, that's an iconic thing. And then that adds to the next iteration of his design.
Yeah, because he was fat in the Super Nintendo Mario.
Yeah, he was fat.
He was fat. Like, obviously, he'd been, like, just chilling for a while.
Yeah.
But you're right, he did evolve. Like, every time a Mario game came out, he was slightly different, yet always recognisable.
Well, speaking of evolving and that, Princess Peach is obviously one of those iconic characters that's been there, but she also goes by a different name as well. Does anyone know what that is?
Princess Peach. No.
No? Anyone?
I'm trying to think. There's another. I think I should know this one.
Deborah.
Deborah.
It's still Princess, so she's still a princess. But she's got a... It's not Pauline.
No, I'm thinking I remember there's another name, but I can't think of what it is.
Stockholm Syndrome.
It's one of those funny...
Something to do with the mushrooms, though, wasn't it? Because
It is?
Yes.
She rules over the mushrooms. That's what I'm thinking. There was something about the mushrooms.
Princess Mushroom.
Princess Toadstool.
That's it.
Well done,
That's it.
Gav.
I remember this. I remember there was another name. Yes.
Holy crap, I totally forgot that was even a name that was used.
It was. I remember that one.
It was weird. It was one of those translation things.
Yes, it was.
All right, next question. So I'm going to delve into Super Mario Bros. 2 for this question. Now, in this one, there was 4 characters in there, and each of them had their own abilities. So you had Mario, who was the all-round kind of guy. Name the other 3 characters and what they were known for.
Luigi?
Yep, what was Luigi known for?
Green.
Being better in every way.
His green version of being Mario, brother. You had
He could jump higher.
Yoshi. Yoshi, because he was dragon.
Arthur is right on the jumping higher.
Mhm.
Luigi was the jumper, so he could jump better.
Was he?
So you got 2 more. It's not Yoshi.
It's Peach.
Peach is 1. What could Peach do?
She could shed a little umbrella.
And it did
What made it float down slower.
Float down, yeah.
spot on. And the
And-
last character,
Toadstool.
who could...
He could run faster, I think.
Walk? I don't know. Walk faster?
He wasn't the jumper, he wasn't the runner, he wasn't the floater.
He was a mushroom.
He could be eaten by the others to make him larger.
Was he just tripping balls the whole time?
Oh.
Toad could dig the fastest.
Ah, that's right.
I don't fucking remember digging in that game at all, but okay.
Ah,
That's what Toad was known for. Alright, a very simple one that everyone should know. Mario, what game did he make his 3D debut in?
What game?
64.
Yeah, what game did Mario make his 3D debut in?
Surely it was Mario
Yes.
64.
It sure was. Super Mario 64 is his first 3D appearance. Now, at the end of that game,
Yeah.
what does Mario get as a reward for finishing the game?
Glasses.
You'd
He
think
gets
I'd know
to
this
go
because
back to
I've
2D world.
played that
Get
game
a-
so many times. I've
does he
finished
get
it
a
so many
kiss
times.
off Peach?
That's related to Peach, and he does
Oh.
get something off her.
Hello.
Ooh.
You get lucky?
Well,
Yeah, one up, one up, one up, one up, one up.
Oh,
If only we had a video of me there just doing a pelvic thrust.
Would have been just a star or something.
No, it wasn't boring. It was every kid's fantasy.
Yeah,
No
no
one?
idea. I never played it to the end.
you got a really big.
No, I
mushroom.
haven't.
Nobody?
No, I can't remember, honestly.
Your
Peach
legacy.
rewards Mario by baking the cake that she promised him.
Ah.
Ah, I I do remember the cake. Yes, yes.
What's the first Mario role-playing game and when did it come out?
Is it an actual game or is this like a
Yeah,
role-play game?
this was it was Super Mario RPG.
When did it come out?
Continuing the great naming that they did of their games. It was for the Super Nintendo, so I'm going to say about 1993.
A little bit later, it was 96 it came out. But yes, Super Mario RPG is the correct
I had
answer.
that. It was like
Nice.
Final Fantasy kind of style of game, and it was quite good actually.
So I would have guessed Paper Mario, but yeah, it makes sense.
Ah, I remember Paper Mario.
Yeah, Paper Mario was built on the success of Mario RPG, which was really successful in Japan because they love RPGs in Japan.
Paper Mario is amazing. That's one of my favorite Mario versions. Both of the Paper Marios. Well, actually, how many have there been?
There's been a couple.
37.
The first Paper Mario and the one that came out for the Wii.
Oh, that was a reskin, wasn't it?
No, it was different. So there's
Okay.
Paper Mario, the original, which came out on 64. I never played that one, so I played the GameCube one, and then the Super Paper Mario on the Wii. And they were both very good.
All right, next question. Obviously, we started this off with talking about the new Super Mario Kart coming out. Now, they're obviously a series of go-kart racing video games. What system did the first Super Mario Kart come out, and what year?
I'll say Super Nintendo.
Correct?
90,
What year?
94. Actually,
Close.
it'd probably be 93.
Close?
95.
That's close.
91.
92.
Damn it.
Fuck, man, everything but. So yeah, 1992, we've had Super Mario Kart. Alright, here we go. True or false question. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, does it have Mario in it?
Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
Yes.
Okay, if yes, then what did he do in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out?
He was the referee.
He was the referee.
He used to
Points
count you
Aaron
out.
for that one.
He'd be like, 1, 2. Well, not talking because they didn't have speech back then, but yeah, he'd do the whole thing. It was awesome. And it's like back in the day, they put Mario in everything.
Next one. So I'm just going to do a series of cameos, whether he's been in them or not. So next series is Call of Duty. Is Mario in any of the Call of Duties?
I can't imagine him.
I don't think so.
Duty. Unless he was an Easter egg, like.
No, it may have been like a poster. I'm going to go yes.
I'll say yes. Probably not.
And
then.
Aaron?
No.
As far as I can find, he hasn't been in any of the Call of Duties.
Well,
He was in the background of No More Russian. You get to shoot him in the face.
Unnamed character, Mario.
Unnamed character.
Has Mario been in any of the NBA Street games?
No. Can't have been.
I don't even know what NBA Street games are, but.
it's a
They're
basketball.
It's
basketball
like a
games.
Street,
The-
Obviously.
Playing NBA on the street.
Right, okay.
like a ghetto type basketball. It's pretty cool.
Okay,
I used to
cool.
play a lot of them back in the day.
I'm going to say no.
I don't think so.
Yes.
Arthur? Yeah, Mike?
Yes.
He has. He was in NBA Street Volume 3.
Ah,
Really? What, on all the other platforms as well, or just on the Nintendo one?
I'll have to
I'm
double-check that.
curious. I'm
All I know
curious.
is that he appeared in NBA Street Volume 3.
Okay.
I didn't think to look into it more.
No,
I'll
I-
leave that up for you. You can find that out.
I will find that
Do
out.
do our
Curious.
Mike Google. Zelda. Has Mario ever been in Zelda?
In Zelda. Or do you mean he's appeared with Link or something?
Has he appeared in any of the Zelda games? Whatever form you want to take that as.
I
Statues,
so.
I
playable
believe he
characters.
has. Yeah, like he's been hieroglyphs on a wall or something, hasn't he? In one of the background, you see like all of the carvings on the wall, and one of the carvings is Mario.
I think he has been in Mario. He's been in Mario. He's been in some of the Zelda games. I think.
Mike?
I'm going to say yes. Like, I think with Aaron, like, the statue or something.
That's correct. You're all correct on this one. He's been in both The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past and The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. as a
Ocarina of
portrait.
Time. Yes.
Such good games.
They are beautiful games. I love them.
Final game. Has Mario ever been in a Metal Gear Solid in some form?
No.
Knowing what's his name that wrote Metal Gear Solid. What was his name? Miyazaki? No, that's Mario's creator, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it Hideo?
Hideo Kojima, yeah. Knowing Kojima and just how batshit fucking crazy he is, I'm going to go with yes.
I'll go with no.
Have?
I think
I'll go with no as well.
Mike?
I'm going to go yes with Aaron.
He has. He was in Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes. He was a small statue in one of the games.
Winning!
Barely
Nice.
counts.
Counts.
It counts for the purpose of the trivia, so sucks to be you. Alright, next question. Name or at least name one of the animated television series that Mario has been in.
Mario
It
and
wasn't
Friends.
Mario Brothers television.
Mario and Friends?
There was a Mario Brothers. It's called the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Yeah.
Continuing
so
the naming.
Any other names of shows or that Mario's been in?
The Legend of Zelda.
Oh, there was a
It's
show.
Show?
Yes,
There
there
was-
was.
There was a show.
you, princess. That one.
Okay, wasn't on my list, but I'll accept it until I prove otherwise. Any other shows of that?
Was he in the Sonic the Hedgehog ones? After Nintendo ate up Sega?
Once again, wasn't listed.
Okay.
The other answers I have, his very first appearance was in the Saturday Supercade, which is an animated television series produced by Ruby Spears Productions in 1983. So they did lots of little small skits and that to do with video arcade games, I believe. Then obviously we had the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, which we mentioned, but he was also in The Adventures of Super Mario Brothers 3 and Super Mario World. Both were animated shows that came out, obviously starring him.
Oh, what about movies?
There's the one.
Yeah, there's been one movie. And we've already said who the main star was. So.
No, I believe he's been in another movie.
Oh, okay. Oh,
I'm going to come in with a question if that's okay.
yeah, go for it. If it's
All right,
I
what
think
movie did Mario feature heavily in and actually was basically a large ad
Is it
for
fucking
Nintendo?
Pixels?
No. I'll give you a hint. Think Power Glove.
Oh,
I was
so
going
the-
with Pixel, so I'm out.
No, it was a fucking 80s film.
It was an 80s film, I'll give you that.
Nintendo it had a name,
Yeah.
obviously.
Obviously.
Can't believe none of you have seen it. You probably have. You probably just erased it.
No, I've seen it, but I forgot the name. It's
I was busy being born at the time, so...
I seen it in the cinema. That's showing my age.
Oh,
the old fuck.
All right.
Power glove.
Yeah. You should know this one, Cav.
Oh, thanks. This sounds familiar with the power glove. I'm just trying to
Yes.
think what it
There's a whole
was.
famous scene like Power Glove. So bad.
Arthur's got it. He knows where it's at. He
I
just
know the
doesn't
film, I just don't know the name. I
Yeah.
fucking, it's like in the back of my brain, waiting to come out, and be vomited.
All
But
right. I'll
this
put
is
you
like-
out of your-
Tell us.
I'll put you
Sup-
out of your misery.
Yes, please.
It was The Wizard, starring
Oh,
the
fuck
Wonder
you.
Ah,
Fred Savage.
Of course.
And
Yes.
it was actually the first time anyone had seen footage of Super Mario 3 on the Nintendo. It was basically an ad. Everyone went to watch it just to see him play it for like 2 minutes. And it was like, oh my god, there's a feather and he can fly. This is fucking awesome. And then we're like, we want to get a Power Glove. They're so bad. Like Arthur said, the main bad guy was this, this kid who was 15 years old with a
Yeah.
horrible bleached blonde hair and a spike, and he was rich, and his parents bought him. He was like, the Power Glove, it's so good, it's bad. And he's playing Mario 3 with the Power Glove, which is physically fucking impossible. Mario has featured in that film as well. Anyway, there you go.
is it the angry Nintendo gamer that does the Power Glove videos?
Yes,
Is
the
that-
angry
yeah.
video game nerd now.
Yeah, I love those. Where he's trying to get it to actually work and it does in jack shit.
Yes.
It's the funniest shit I've ever seen ever.
Which just goes to show Nintendo's been trying the whole like Wii motion control thing for fucking years. Just like they tried, 3D with what's the one that they released, the Game Boy?
Virtual Boy.
Yeah, Virtual Boy. Yeah, they've been trying this shit for yonks.
Yeah, and they had Bob the Robot as well. No, Rob the Robot. Don't forget Rob the Robot. He did fucking nothing as well.
A bit of interesting facts in that Mario was actually meant to appear in Wreck-It Ralph as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they didn't want him to be forced in the movie or that, so they ended up bailing on putting him into the movie. That is just like an obscure reference to it. But yeah, Mario was actually meant to be in that movie.
Was he in Pixels or not?
I know Donkey Kong was in Pixels,
Yeah,
wasn't he?
I
But
don't think we saw Mario.
The hammer was there, though,
The hammer
wasn't
was
it?
there, yeah. The level and the hammer was there, but I don't think we actually saw Mario. I don't know whether Adam Sandler could swing a Mario license for a movie. 'Cause I think Nintendo are fairly selective in what they put Mario in, even though they've put him in everything. Everything's pretty much family friendly and always clean.
I enjoyed Pixels. I thought it was actually
Pixels is great.
a fun movie. It's not the best movie ever. It's not a must-see, but I thought it was a fun, nostalgia trip. And when you think about all those games and how that would happen, I can just imagine they were sitting around going, imagine if this was all in a movie, and that's what they did. I appreciate
You're like
just
the
that
second
level.
person that I've heard today mention anything positive about Pixels, whereas everything else apart from today I've heard has been everyone shitting on it, being terrible.
No, I think it's a great movie.
How many people are talking about it?
No, the complaint from nerds was that it was too obviously missing the point. It's not actually appealing to nerddom in the good way. In the same kind of way that Big Bang Theory does. Like, it's like an outsider's perspective of a nerd, not an actor.
It's an Adam Sandler movie, though. It's never going to be fucking cerebral in any way, shape, or form.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know. I'll have to watch it then. I'll probably
It's
hate
not
it.
It's a giant Pac-Man eating things. It's Space Invaders. It's all those old
Peter
arcade
Dinklage.
games. Just, yeah.
Dinklage's character is actually based off a real guy, and there's another movie, and I spoke about this a couple of weeks ago, called A Fistful of Quarters, about the World Donkey Kong Championships and the guy that holds the high score, and he's a fucking tool with a mullet to this day, and he wears bedazzled jeans and stuff, and Peter Dinklage's character in Pixels is a pretty spot-on dig at this guy in A Fistful of Quarters. So if you haven't seen it, it's called The King of Kong, A Fistful of Quarters. It's the whole name of the
Fistful
film.
of
It's on
Quarters.
Netflix. It's fucking amazing, and it really, highlights some grown men that clearly haven't grown up. And as a gamer, even as a gamer, I'll say that. But yeah, get onto it, have a watch, and as soon as you see this guy Kenny, whatever his name is, you'll just go, "That's fucking Dinklage from Pixels."
Game of Thrones.
And he actually even had a controversy because he got thrown out of having the high score for a few years because they thought he was cheating. He had an
Yeah.
unlicensed modification to his arcade machine because he actually has Donkey Kong in his garage. He submitted a video of him getting high score, and it was fucking dodgy as. Like it jumps and the tracking goes all weird in the era of DVDs. So it's like, hey, come on, dude, really? I won't go on, but yeah, go and watch it.
All right, well, I might rein in the last few questions for the trivia. So, one of the characters we haven't talked about is everyone's favorite Yoshi, who is a dinosaur. Does anyone know what his species is named?
Is it a normal type name, or is it something strange and unknown?
Depends on how you look at it. I'll go with strange, but
It's not Yoshi, is it?
the name of the species is actually Yoshi as well.
Well, Dan has.
Bonus points if you know what Yoshi means in Japanese.
Dinosaur?
No.
Cute.
Apparently it means friend.
Aww.
So it's
That's-
Mario's friend.
Feel good story for everyone.
Absolutely. A normal moment there for
That
everyone.
he fucking drops a hat because he, like...
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
this one stage in Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo where you've got to sacrifice Yoshi to get to a hidden world.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
Mario
remember
does
that.
it. He does it with a smile on his face too, and Yoshi just falls to his fucking death, and he's just like, "Yay!" And like Yoshi's just falling down this chasm, and you're just like, "Yeah, motherfucker."
I mean,
Yeah.
there's a whole species of them. You just get a new one.
Yeah.
Like,
Expendable
Mario
friend.
has obviously done the maths and just gone.
Yeah, fuck it, there's plenty.
I saw
In 2
somewhere
seconds,
there's-
I'm bound to run onto another one and just use that one, and that's my new Yoshi. That's probably why I didn't even give him a name. Like, you just called it Yoshi. It's like getting a pet dog that you know you're not going to keep around, so you call it Dog, just so the next dog can also be called Dog.
I think I saw a YouTube video the other day that tries to prove that Mario is evil. With all the things he does. I'll have to look it up, but definitely saw it somewhere. Yeah, I'll have to link it once I find it somewhere.
Whilst you're doing that, last two questions are pretty related. So obviously we all know it's quite iconic for Mario to use items, get various power-ups and that throughout the games. What's the very first power-up that Mario had?
I'm surely the mushroom.
No,
It has to be.
Oh,
No,
wait, no,
no,
it wouldn't be
it
the
was-
mushroom.
it was the hammer in Donkey Kong, wasn't it?
Sure was the hammer. There's a bit of a trick question there, because we all know the mushrooms and all that kind of stuff, but you go all the way back. First one he had was the hammer, squashing all the barrels, and final question, just to round this up. Super Mario Brothers introduced the basic 3 power-ups. That's now the staples of the series. So obviously there's plenty of power-ups out there and all, but what were the 3 staple power-ups?
The mushroom, the flower, and the tanuki suit.
The what suit?
Tanuki, isn't that what they call it?
Yeah, that was the onesie that he wore in Super Mario 3. And you could turn into a statue or you could fly.
It's a little weird, like, furry animal thing with a tail, and you can fly.
Yeah.
It's not that. Two out of 3, so
Okay.
close. So we got the mushroom, which makes him grow larger. You got the fire flower, so you can shoot fireballs.
The other
What's
one.
the third one?
The other one's got to be the
Star, then,
star.
The
Yeah.
star,
Yeah.
surely. Oh, yeah.
Starman gives him temporary invincibility.
Nice.
Perfect. All right, so I've secretly been keeping count of everyone's answers. Who do you think won?
Aaron.
Aaron, definitely.
All right.
Who won the fucking
Ooh.
quiz?
The winner was actually Tom on 37 points, so well done, Tom. Everyone give him a clap.
The fuck is Tom?
Yeah, the fuck
Is he
Tom?
one of these, like... Has he got,
Yeah,
like, mic... Has he got Mike's fucking audio set up so only half of us can hear him? What's going on there?
Tom. What the fuck?
It's
Tom is our winner, and well done to Tom. He gets the $20 voucher. For this episode. All right, well, after a bit of trivia, I guess it's only appropriate that we now have a look and a bit of a chat about some of the games that have come through Mario. Obviously, with more than 200, we're probably not going to talk about all of them. Where better to start with than the very beginning with Donkey Kong in the arcades. Now, Mike, I know whenever we go to the movies, you're always in there still playing the arcade machines. I assume Donkey Kong, one of your favourites back in the day?
Back in the day, yeah, I can remember actually when I used to go on holidays. Caravan Park, they had a huge gaming room, and it was full of arcade games. And Donkey Kong was up there, and it was pretty much you've got to use the monkey, and you've got to get up there and smack him. It was a great little fun little game. It was a while ago, so I remember it well. But it was back in those days. It was highly addictive, and I imagine everyone else can probably attest to it. That playing those arcade with little joystick, and little buttons and stuff. Jump, shit, and then you'd be kind of kicking the fucking thing. It was great fun.
So you're the guy that broke them all?
Well, I mean, some of them, they were just frustrating. Yeah, heck of a lot of fun. Yeah.
I guess one of the things that we touched on last week, Aaron, was the replayability of these games. Back in the arcade days and that when Donkey Kong first came out, the games weren't so story-driven or that. They were all about replaying the game and, most importantly, getting that highest score possible. And then you'd leave your initials, on the leaderboard and come back with your friends and be like, look, that's my initials, clearly, even if someone else had the same initials.
Yeah, true.
No, but I remember I was always Pooh or something. You always go to an arcade and the number one name would be Pooh or Dumb
Ace.
or something like that.
Ace,
yeah. And you'd be like, no, that's me. I put Pooh in there earlier. I came down here and I played it, and I because it's funny, and I'm like 12 years old, and Pooh jokes are just cutting edge.
It's really interesting with the original Donkey Kong. Compare it to where everything went from that game, because obviously both Donkey Kong and Mario became big known properties in that. Donkey Kong in that game is obviously the villain that's stealing Lady or that,
Pauline.
your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Pauline. I actually forgot for a second. Donkey Kong steals Pauline from you and you're hunting him down with a hammer, whereas now Donkey Kong's the big hero. Everyone loves Donkey Kong.
Yeah, but Donkey Kong was only acting out because Mario mistreated him. If you've read the
Which
original,
is true.
You've read the original manual for Donkey Kong. It's Donkey Kong escapes because Mario treated him bad, and to get back at him, he stole his missus. So
Which really just paints our two heroes as quite poor people.
Yeah, exactly.
Mario is there abusing animals, and Donkey Kong is stealing women and holding them hostage.
Absolutely.
There's two family-friendly characters that are there committing crimes and, just general...
Well, isn't Donkey Kong kind of
badness.
based off King Kong, where he's taken the woman from the building and he climbs a tower? So that would.
Yes, I think that the theory is the same. Yes.
Yeah.
Obviously now Donkey Kong is very, very different. But yeah, I love those kind of games. You just don't get that kind of feel anymore, and it's so hard with today's graphics and all that kind of stuff.
It's really easy to
How
be...
could you... Yeah, how could you ever create something of that nature in today's society and with the technology that we have?
It doesn't really work, and I guess the easiest way to look at that is to go, what's the newest Mario game? And it's obviously not the same as it was 30 years ago. And so Mario...
what did we have... Sorry, what did we have after Donkey Kong? Is Super Mario Brothers?
No, we have Mario Brothers.
Mario Brothers.
Which was a single screen, kind of like Donkey Kong, but it had the turtles coming out of pipes at the top of the screen, and you had to bump them from underneath. So you had to headbutt the ledge that they were on, and you had to do it from underneath and get up to the top of the screen. And it was also, you could play 2 players simultaneously, so you could have Luigi as well.
Now, that was on the NES, was it?
On the NES, yeah. I believe there was an arcade game of it as well, but I don't think it was very big outside of Japan. And then there was
What
another...
about you, Arthur? When did you first start playing Mario, Arthur?
Probably... I only played it on emulators because I only had a PC, so... I basically missed the entire console. Dude.
What about the arcade machines? Did you ever do
No,
Donkey
I couldn't
Kong
afford
in the
arcades.
arcade?
What the fuck are you talking about? They were like $1. Didn't have that kind of loose cash. No, I did not. I played them on emulators. I played them on friends' consoles, 64, and I played... I think the first actual Mario game I played in full was Paper Mario.
Okay.
And New Super Mario on the Game Boy Advance.
So that's where I started playing Mario, was Super Mario Land, I think, Aaron?
Yep, Game
Game
Boy, the
Boy?
original Game Boy one, yeah.
And I played that so much. And that's, obviously from Donkey Kong, where it's that repeated levels and that, you've now got Mario in the side-scrolling, multiple levels, multiple worlds kind of thing. Like, the thing I remember about that one was, actually, there's quite a few things about that game. You had the aeroplane and the submarine
Yes.
all of a sudden in it. So you had underwater and in the air levels.
Yeah, like
and then you had
shoot-em-ups.
those... Yeah, and then you had the Stonehenge little things dancing around and so many enemies in that. But the Stonehenge ones were new in that one, I think.
Yeah,
Aaron?
no, that was the big rock heads.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hadn't seen those before, because usually you had your Goombas, your Turtles, and your Lakitus, which are the guys in the cloud.
What about
Game
Bullet Bill?
Boys. Oh, Bullet Bill. Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
been
yeah.
around for ages. Wasn't he
He's
in
been
the
around for ages.
original?
He was in... no, I think he started Mario 3.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure. I have to...
Bullet Bill was in the Super Mario Land. I remember you jump on him. So he was in Super Mario Land. I don't know when his first appearance was. But he was definitely in
He
there.
was definitely in Super Mario 3, because one of the last stages on the pirate ship, which is Koopa's ship, is just fucking full of Bullet Bills going in all different directions, and it's one of the hardest stages ever.
Yeah.
It's
I
fucking
remember that one.
insane. Yeah.
I was gonna say, like you were mentioning before about like Donkey Kong turning from a bad guy to good guy, pretty much. But then that kind of goes the same with every character in Mario, because Bowser kidnaps Peach every once in a while, but at the end of the day, they go and play tennis and Mario and karts together. So clearly, they're not. Clearly, him kidnapping her is not that big of a deal.
There's also... in one of the later games, Bowser Jr. actually calls Peach his mum. It's not very adequately explained, and it's only one line in the whole game.
Wow.
And it's like, hang on. So Peach got busy with Bowser? Ew. Is that even, physically possible? Really? And
I'm
Mario's...
sure there's a video.
Oh, yeah.
That's
there
why
would be.
she was always in another castle, you see.
Yeah.
But I mean, with sports, like, we're taught traditionally that if you're a sports star, then, crime's okay. So it makes sense that Bowser's in there playing sport with everyone.
Everyone
Yeah,
bangs Peach is
okay.
basically what you're saying.
Pretty much. The town horse.
No one gives a shit about Daisy, just Peach.
Daisy who.
Daisy...
But yeah, it's interesting that we went from, the arcade single levels to, which was all about replayability, get the highest score and all that kind of stuff,
Yep.
to now creating more of a story-driven, but still replayable style game, which is still something that we don't see, is the replayability of games isn't quite there. Whereas I know with Super Mario Land and that kind of style, you get through, you had your X amount of lives, you died, you had to start all the way from the beginning and do it over and over till, your skill level got high enough that you could get the whole way through the game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but that wasn't a design decision, because they chose that because it was an arcade game and they wanted the arcades to have an incentive to have the game to get more quarters from the kids. They didn't on purposely do that for any reason other than that.
So was Super Mario Land on the arcade machines, was it? Or
Well, I think they just kept that sort of stuff in other games as a continuation, but I'm pretty sure the reason why those dudes had lives was entirely to get more quarters out of you, pretty much. Or in our case, dollars.
Yeah, but I mean, it shows the evolution of games going from, the different points in the Mario kind of thing to nowadays where everything has to be a storyline. And once you've finished it, you
That's it.
kind of sell it back to EB Games and get your
Correct.
cash in value and
Not really.
get
There's
the next game.
There's still heaps of games that are just arcade style. There's a whole revival of arcade style games at the moment.
There is now, yeah, but there was I think I agree with Dan a little bit. Like, a few years ago, everything was about, you had to have this story. And once you'd done the game, you could go back and get a couple of trophies or something. But honestly, whoever played through a game and then went back to get achievements?
I'm
No.
totally not agreeing with you guys at all. I don't. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, what story? Games are like famous for having complete rubbish as stories. They shoved them in.
Or campaign. Would you go back and play a Call of Duty campaign again just because you felt like it, or would you go?
Call of Duty sucks. I wouldn't play that in
Exactly.
the first place.
I think that's the point Dan's trying
Call of
to
Duty
make.
is a bad example. Like, there's lots of games that I love because of their story.
Yeah.
And
But
I
how
have
often would you
replayed
replay them?
I've replayed many of them many times. I've played like
Straight
Vampire
away,
the Masquerade like probably more times than any game. That's a story-based game. Or
Did you finish it and replay it straight away?
yes.
Each to their own, of course.
I'm totally like, for me, like, a story is a big selling point, but unfortunately there aren't many games with actually good stories. In fact, Super Paper Mario has a very decent humor and story associated with it, even though it's a Mario game. That's what makes those games so good. The
What
humor.
about you, Mike? Do you replay your games or?
Yeah. Or yes and no. Sometimes I feel like I want to play a game again, but most of the time it's usually a play till I finish. Cool, done. What's the next game? Like, for instance, I'm still a fan of Call of Duty, so like there was some storylines there with the Advanced Warfare that was not too bad for me, but I wouldn't really want to play it again because it's just kind of like, yeah. So some games are worth replaying, some games aren't.
Well, for me, I find that most of the games these days, I don't replay as much as I used to back in the old days.
Mm-hmm.
The older games, I certainly play them quite often, repeatedly, whether with my brothers, sisters, or friends in general. But I used to replay a lot of those more. Nowadays, I play a game, it's great, I finish it, I move on to the next one. I might sometimes come back to it if it's good at some point, but usually I don't go back and start replaying it again as soon as I finish it. That's generally the rule for me.
With that kind of thing, like, that's how I feel. It's like, I'll finish a game and I might clean up some trophies or that. I am one of those trophy hunters, loves the platinum trophy. But in general, once I've done it all, my first thing is, sweet, put it aside, move on to the next game. If I really enjoyed the game, then I keep it aside to years down the track, go back and replay it because I did enjoy it so much. I don't remember the last game that I finished and then went back to the start and went straight back into it like you used to with the old ones, which were more because you died and that's how the games were designed. But that's the point, is that games have changed so much that now you have save points, you finish it, you're done. Some games are that good that you will, Vampires the Masquerade is a brilliant game and it has so many options that you can explore with it, which makes it a lot more replayability than a lot of, more modern games. But for the average game, most of them I find I'll finish it and move on to the next one. The exception with finishing a game is multiplayer games. Anything that's multiplayer, obviously has endless possibilities in that. And that's where things like Mario Kart are just so addictive and, the social side of it, just constantly get your friends around and all that. That's why I think Mario Kart is, one of those series that just churns out so many games and that. Playing with your friends. Yeah. The Mario Kart 64 is just such an iconic game, whether it's for racing or for party purposes or however you want to look at it. It covered so much so well back in the day that that's why it still sticks around. Everyone still remembers that original experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for me, it was Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo, but exactly the same sentiment. Showing my age again. But and like, similar games like Smash Brothers and stuff like that, your multiplayer games, you always go back to them. Because they are just, like you said, party games. Maybe not so much. I was never a big fan of the Mario parties and stuff like that. I'd rather just play Mario Kart and get upset and accuse everyone of cheating. And
I think Mario Party appeals to a wider audience. You don't need to have the traditional game skills.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a great driver. You don't have to be a great, arcade fighter or that. It's the little fun mini games that anyone can just instantly pick up and be part of that experience. And that's where so many times I've had people come over and we've played a Mario Party, and a lot of those people that are playing, they're not gamers. They won't pick up any traditional game, but they'll happily pick up a controller and play Mario Party because it's fun. Everyone can sit around, have a few drinks, or there's no skill required. It's just pure fun.
Yeah. But even Mario Kart now, with when the Wii launched and was huge, I bet look in 9 out of 10 houses and there'd probably be one of those little Wii steering wheels somewhere because everyone had a fucking Wii. Everyone could play a Wii, like whether you're 8 years old or 80. It was Nintendo's real masterstroke. They came out with a seriously underpowered console that was never going to compete with the PS3 or the Xbox and still managed to outsell both of them just because of the playability. And that's one thing Nintendo does well is playability. It's their forte.
Yeah, true.
No matter what game they sort of churn out, there's very few bad Nintendo games, and no doubt the internet will prove me wrong on that, but I don't think Nintendo make too many bad games. All of their games are more focused on playability and having fun rather than being the most technical thing around.
At worst, their games get accused of beating a dead horse. I mean, that's what Yahtzee complains about when he reviews or critiques Nintendo games. They're all essentially the same shit, just over and over again.
Yeah, but
that's their entire shtick. Like they don't.
And people buy them, and it works. Like, how many Pokemon games have we had, and they're essentially the exact same RPG every time. I still play them.
I mean, I kind of agree with that criticism, but I think the one thing Nintendo does is they try and bring in different audiences. Like the Wii is essentially trying to capture a whole different market, and they're really the only company that does that routinely. At least out of the mainstream console, and to some extent the PC as well, because PlayStation, Sony, and Microsoft for Xbox are really, their primary appeal is to gamers that already are gamers. Mm-hmm. Nintendo is the one that seems to occasionally try and grab the younger generation and the randos that suddenly, like the old person that picks up a Wii because they thought... Yeah, the problem is they don't have a good strategy for retaining those people.
I think one of the things about the Wii that made it so special, and it's something that I guess I talked about a little bit a while ago with Pokemon Go, is the extra audience that it caters to. And in particular, for the Wii, you see the stories about people with disabilities using it, and to be able to go 10-pin bowling as though, they were actually 10-pin bowling, but the reality is they're still stuck in their home with just a controller, but for them, they get that experience again, and it doesn't take much for them to be able to do that. Now, obviously, different disabilities will have different effects on people, but in general, it opens it up to a larger market for that kind of experience, which is such an incredible, amazing achievement for these people that are quite often left out of so many different things.
That is very true. I agree, and I can attest to that, especially with my son. He's a lot better nowadays with his disability. I mean, we were just, well, that's a long story. The other day he was, out of the blue, he just went into looking through my boxes and stuff here in the back here. And he just pulled out the Nintendo Wii, which he hadn't played for many, many years. I actually thought I got rid of it. And he just pulled it out, and he had great fond memories of it. He says, "Dad, can you hook this up for me? I really enjoyed playing it." And I can't even remember him playing it. It was that long ago. But he still remembers it because, well, with his disability, he's got good long-term memory. So he remembers how good it was for him to be playing those games. So I've actually made the effort to actually get it all set up for him. So hopefully I'll get it hooked up for him when he comes back.
Mario game on the Wii.
Yeah, I've got to admit I've never played Mario Galaxy either. But it was one of the big Wii titles.
It was a big one. Yeah, I do remember that. It was pretty big, but I never got it. Can't even remember why I couldn't get it, because I got quite a number of Wii games. I still have them around here, but I never got that one.
That's a little bit sad. That was legit great. If you have fucking pick it up, it's probably cheap as chips now.
Probably had no money at the time, so now I might actually get that for him. He might enjoy it even more.
Yeah, Mario Galaxy is really good. It's like at the time when it came out, a lot of people were comparing it to 64, saying it was as good as 64 was on...
No, I definitely remember it. I just never got it.
Sad people. That's like one of the few ones I played that actually had a fucking Wii.
Obviously, Super Mario 64 is one of those big iconic moments.
Oh, yes.
Well, it changed the face of gaming, really, didn't it?
It did. I agree.
It marked the transition from 2D to 3D.
I still have that. I love that game so much.
Never finished it. It's gaming heresy, but I don't think I've ever finished Mario 64.
No.
I barely played it, so that's even worse.
Oh.
I remember it. I know all about it.
Yeah.
We weren't the richest family in that, and I did eventually get a 64 a little bit later. Mario 64 wasn't one of the games that I did get. I did have Donkey Kong 64, though, for what it's worth, with the cool rap song. Everyone remembers the rap.
Good times.
I'm not alone in remembering that rap song at the start, am I?
Maybe.
Here we go. Performing for you. If you know the words, you can join in too. Put your hands together if you wanna clap. As we take you through this funky rap.
I skipped the Nintendo 64. I'm sorry, I admit it.
Wow, that's even worse than me.
I went from the Super Nintendo straight to the PlayStation.
Oh, you made a mistake, buddy.
I thought you were
Rookie
gonna say
mistake there.
GameCube.
No, I skipped the GameCube. I skipped the Cube.
GameCube skipple.
My-
I have
my-
a
Project Dolphin it
now,
used to be
but I
called,
never had
right?
one.
You lot played Sunshine either?
I played a little bit of Sunshine. Well, funnily enough, the Wii is the exact same hardware as the GameCube. So
Really?
you can put GameCube discs directly in a Nintendo Wii and you'll play them.
Well, it's
Ah,
just backward compatibility. It's not the same hardware.
Oh, it's very similar hardware. It's not much different.
Yeah, the thing was two GameCubes duct taped together. That was the joke for the Wii.
But, yeah.
Did the
Mario-
GameCube fail because of the medium? Is that what was the big issue with the GameCube? Because the GameCube is probably the most disliked out of all the
lot.
console.
correct.
Failed because it was
releases.
coming up against PS2, and also because Nintendo was still trying to push hardware for GameCube. So GameCube was more expensive than PlayStation 2.
It had an identity crisis. It didn't really do anything special. It wasn't a game changer like the 64. It wasn't really an evolution. Yeah, people just went...
Yeah.
But yeah, Nintendo really screwed the pooch because the original PlayStation was meant to be a Nintendo. They were developing with Panasonic and Sony the add-on for the Super Nintendo, so the Super Nintendo CD, like a Mega Drive CD, and that was going to be the PlayStation. And then Nintendo weren't happy with the choice of format. They wanted cartridges, and Sony wanted discs because obviously Sony invented discs and stuff like that, and they just they went their separate ways. Oh, Philips invented discs. Sony and Nintendo had this massive falling out. There are a few Super Nintendo CDs floating around the world, not many. It's also the reason that the Final Fantasy games were on the Sony PlayStation rather than the Nintendo's after the PlayStation came out. That was one of Nintendo's big mistakes, was to piss Sony off.
Yeah, they made a lot of mistakes back then.
And, well, I mean, it's a good thing we've got the PlayStation out of it now, I guess.
True that.
They they went back to cartridges. I mean,
Yeah,
they're
and
not quite
tiny.
cartridges; they're SD cards, but they're similar.
Similar concept, yeah.
Same idea.
Bye-bye, it's Mario!
Thanks everyone for listening. Make sure to like us, subscribe to us, and comment either on Facebook or YouTube.
Thank you, Mario, but the princess is in another castle. It's time to go. Run, quickly, Mario. Jump and jump. Ah.
What an episode it's been.